devastated he was over the need to have a corporate downsizing. He used emotion to explain that it was better for the overall security of the company to eliminate some positions. Control functions. The management of any organization will always have plans with long, medium, or long term objectives for the months and years ahead. To achieve these objectives, the daily and monthly activities must proceed as planned in order to achieve the objectives for the period. Motivation. The objective of this study is to examine the role of effective communication in motivating employees and retention of employees in an organization. Effective communication generates curiosity, promotes a self-efficacy, and competence among the employees. Now let us study issues pertaining to effective communication. First is content. Content refers to the actual words or symbols of the message that are known as language. The spoken and written ones combined into phrases that make grammatical sense. Importantly, we all use and interpret the meanings of words differently. So even simple messages can be misunderstood. And many words have different meanings to confuse the issue even more. Then is the process. Process refers the way the message is delivered. The non-verbal elements in speech such as tone of voice, the look in the sender's eyes, body language, hand gestures, and state of emotions such as anger, fear, uncertainty, confidence, etc. that can be detected. The non-verbals that we use often cause messages to be misunderstood as we tend to believe what we see more than what we hear. Indeed, we often trust the accuracy of non-verbal behaviors more than verbal behaviors. Context refers to the situation or environment in which your message is delivered. Here it is important that contextual factors that can subtly influence the effectiveness of a message include the physical environment, cultural factors, example, international cultures, organizational cultures, and so on, and developmental factors. Now let's take a look at vital components of key communication skills. First is listening skills, feedback skills, and presentation skills. Presentation skills will be discussed later in week 3 session. Let's first focus on listening skills. Listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. What do you think about listening? It's about understanding the complexities of listening, preparing to listen, adjusting to the situation, focusing on ideas or key points, capitalizing on speed differential, and organizing material for learning. Learning is the key to all effective communication. Without the ability to listen effectively, messages are easily misunderstood. Communication breaks down, and the sender of the message can easily become frustrated or irritated. Develop want to listen attitude, delay judgment, and give an appropriate response at apt time. Allow the speaker to finish each point before asking questions. Don't interrupt with counter arguments. Be candid, open, and honest in your response. Assert your opinions respectfully. Treat the other person in a way that you think he or she would want to be treated. Admit your biases. Don't tune with dry subjects. Accept responsibility for understanding. Encourage others to talk. Listening is so important that many top employers provide listening skills training for their employees. This is not surprising when you consider that good listening skills can lead to better customer satisfaction, greater productivity with fewer mistakes, increased sharing of information that in turn can lead to more creative and innovative work. Let us understand in brief the Harrier model, which explains components of effective listening. Many successful leaders and entrepreneurs credit their success to effective listening skills. Richard Branson frequently quotes listening as one of the main factors behind success of Virgin. Effective listening is a skill that underpins all positive human relationships. Spend some time thinking about and developing your listening skills. They are the building blocks of success. First phase of Harrier model is hearing, paying careful attention to what is being said. Then is understanding, comprehending the message being sent. Next is remembering. It is being able to recall the message being sent. Then comes interpreting. Interpreting the message the sender is communicating. Then comes evaluating, not immediately passing judgment on the message being sent, but instead after proper evaluation of the message. And finally, the last phase of career model is responding, replying to the sender, letting him or her know that you are paying careful attention to what is being communicated. Let's take a look at fallacies about listening. People often misunderstand listening as if it is not their problem. They consider listening and hearing as the same. They think good readers are good listeners, smarter people are better listeners, listening improves with age. Before the conversation gets over, they start thinking about what we are going to say rather than listening to a speaker. Talking when we should be listening, hearing what we expect to hear rather than what is actually said, not paying attention to the speaker. Having studied listening skills, now let us study about feedback skills. Feedback is the process of sharing observations and recommendations with the learner. It can be formative and summative, but should always be constructive and non confrontational. Feedback has value as a tool of professional development. Reflect what has been said by paraphrasing what I am hearing is and sounds like you are saying, and are great ways to reflect back. Ask questions to clarify certain points, like what do you mean when you say, is this what you mean? Summarize the speaker's comments periodically. Let us understand the basic difference between the positive and a negative feedback. Positive feedback is more readily and accurately perceived than negative feedback. Negative feedback fits